Hello, everyone. It's Elmira Hinton here, the RN Health Coach and podcaster of Nurses Notes by Elmira. And today I want to just chat with you quickly to talk about your stories. So, yes, I've presented on this before, but I think it's something I have a different or additional perspective to bring to you about the stories. And I just posted today, and again, I would love it if when you listen to this, if you send me an email or post it in the comments section. What are some of the stories that you tell yourself why you can't be the healthy, vibrant person that you want to be? And this may or may not include weight loss. It may or may not include smoking. You can also use the same thoughts about where you are in life as far as, your money or your career or anything like that. Because it's all in the stories that you tell yourself. And those stories come from you. They're your stories, okay? So let me introduce myself again in case this is your first time listening to my podcast. My name is Elmira Hinton. And I have been a registered nurse for over 40 years. And I saw so many people having chronic health conditions that just didn't know where to start to dig themselves out so that they could be the healthy, vibrant people that they wanted to be. And that's what this podcast and I'm all about, helping you move past or get unstuck from those unhealthy behaviors. Now, let's talk about today's episode, stories. Again, what stories do you tell yourself that keep you stuck in those unhealthy behaviors? Okay? Again, if you're smoking, it might be smoking another cigarette, moving on from a half pack to a full pack, smoking in your car, smoking in your house. You might tell yourself, I'll quit next week. Again, you can use that same story for someone who wants to lose weight. I'll get started next week. I'll get started when I get paid. When we eat up all the cookies and get rid of all that junk in the house, then I'll start. The next time we go to the grocery store, I'll buy nothing but healthy things. You might tell yourself, it's too cold outside. I can't possibly go out for a walk or go to the gym. It's too cold outside. Or it might be the other. It's too hot. I don't want to go in this hot weather. I'll wait till later in the evening. And then the evening comes and then you're too tired and you can't go. I'm not going to go for a walk today because I have so many things to do. I'll walk twice as far tomorrow and make up for it. And you never do. And this goes on and on and on. I can't eat healthy because it's too expensive. I don't know how to cook. So there's no way I can cook a healthy diet for myself. It's just too expensive. In today's economy, you can't buy healthy food because it's so expensive. Or you might tell yourself, I'm too busy cooking, going to the grocery store and prepping all that stuff. I'm just too busy for all of that. I just don't have the time. I need to take care of my kids. I need to go to work. I have to take care of my family, on and on and on. The stories that you tell yourself keep you right where you're at in unhealthy behaviors and not becoming the vibrant, healthy person that you want to be. The whole thing about being too busy and stuff is just if you flip that the other way, that means you're saying to yourself, which isn't good, when you're talking not good to yourself and you're not talking joyous to yourself, when you're not speaking positively to yourself, which is what you're saying when you're saying, I'm too busy. That translates to the unconscious mind in the words of, I don't have time to take care of myself. I'm not worthy of taking care of myself. That's how all that translates. When you say, I can't cook, what you're telling yourself is, I can't even learn. I'm too dumb. I can't learn how to cook. My mother didn't know how to cook. That's the negative self-talk that is resulting in your unconscious mind that is keeping you stuck in that bad behavior. The other thing is, and so that keeps you stuck. And so therefore you keep repeating that behavior over and over again and never moving on to become the healthy person that you want to be. You can't even get started because you're stuck in those unhealthy stories. And believe you me, you think they're not having an effect. When you speak something like that or you think something like that, the unconscious mind takes that to be the way it is. I don't have time for myself. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy of taking the time out to learn how to cook or to prepare a decent meal for, breakfast, lunch, or even dinner. That's what you're telling yourself. And essentially, if you're taking care of your family and you have a busy life, you don't take time out to do what you need to do for your family so that they can all eat healthy and, so they can have a healthy mind and body, is telling them you're just not worthy. You're not worthy of this time that it takes to prepare, to grocery shop, and to set up a healthy meal. That's the result of that type of behavior. That's what is shown. That's what you're showing to your kids. That's what you're showing to your partners. That's what you're showing to community. And most of all, that's what you're showing to yourself, that you're not worthy of the time that it takes to prepare a healthy meal or to pick a healthy meal, if you're out and you have that opportunity. That's the kind of negative self-talk that you're telling yourself. And is that really what you want to be telling yourself as well as your family? That you're not worthy? Think about that, okay? And then think about what other story then do you pile on top of that? Do you pile, well, I could, but it's too expensive. The stories keep going on and on and on. And remember, you're the one making up those stories. No one's putting those stories in your head. Well, not really, but you're choosing to think those thoughts. Okay. Now think about that. That part is really, really deep. You are choosing to think those thoughts. You are the person that is thinking those thoughts. And just like with anything else, if you think about something, say, oh no, I don't want to think about that. That's not right. I don't want to think about that. That's the same way that you need to talk to those unhealthy thoughts that you have. Okay. You need to become responsible, okay, for the thoughts that you're thinking. So many times, like we guard ourselves or we guard our children about, hey, don't listen to that music. Don't look at this TV. Don't read those kind of articles. Don't hang out with those kind of people because those things will influence how you think. So you need to be just as selective about the thoughts that you have about unhealthy behaviors. Okay? Don't allow yourself to have those thoughts that taking care of yourself is too time consuming. You're worth it. It's your life. Nobody else is going to live this life for you. Okay? Taking that time for yourself or your family to grocery shop, to pick out good healthy foods, to avoid those processed foods that are just making you sicker each and every day, is taking responsibility. And I emphasize and say that word so over dramatically because taking responsibility means making something happen. Okay? When you take responsibility, then you're making something happen. Just like when you take the responsibility to, limit something else in your life, like your alcohol intake, or you take responsibility for setting your alarm clock so that you can get up on time. When you take responsibility, then you're making things happen. And that is your entire life, okay? Everything that's going on in your life is your responsibility. If it's not happening the way you want it to happen, then you need to take responsibility to begin to make the changes so that the things that you want happening in your life, and in this instance, in this environment, and I'm talking about on this podcast, I'm talking about your health, okay? Thinking the thoughts that support you for healthy behaviors, okay? You might think thoughts about, oh, I want a Diet Coke, or I want a Pepsi or a Sprite or whatever it is that has no nutritional value whatsoever. You're just, picking up and drinking it. It's your responsibility to retrain yourself over, make a different choice. No, we're going to have water this time. Maybe you add some cucumbers to it to make it more refreshing. Maybe you have a herbal tea, or maybe you have a very low sugar lemonade, or a herbal tea that's very fruity to satisfy that want for, some fluids that have a different flavor to them. Maybe you take the responsibility to make sure that your intake of water is where it should be so that you can have a healthy body, a healthy mind, because you need water in order to function, okay? So that's just one example of where you need to take the responsibility to be the chooser of the correct stories and thoughts that can get you unstuck from that unhealthy behavior, okay? Because it's really, really deep-suited and it takes time. And sometimes you might have to get some help from someone, maybe a coach, a life coach, a health coach, maybe someone in your community who you really respect to help you in learning to understand how your mind functions and how to get rid of those unhealthy thoughts that support those unhealthy behaviors. It's a domino effect. Whatever you think is what you see in your life, okay? So when you keep repeating those behaviors, you're repeating those same thoughts over and over again. It's okay for me to make excuses about not exercising or not eating fruits and vegetables or eliminating or really cutting back significantly on processed foods. It's you that thinks those thoughts. Now, in order to change those thoughts, in order to change those behaviors, it will take some time. But little small things each and every day, they add up. They add up. The pounds can start to come off. The low energy, will definitely go away, increasing your energy, perhaps even the brain fog. But it's making those correct choices each and every day and sticking to it. That's the big thing. Studies have shown that it's not 21 days that it takes for you to change a behavior or a habit. It actually takes 66 days to establish a new behavior or habit. So in the meantime, so that means it's not going to be automatic. Right now, it's automatic for you to walk up to a soda machine and put your cup under, the Pepsi, the root beer or something like that instead of under the water, okay? A habit is an efficiency. Believe it or not, a habit is an efficiency. We establish habits so that we don't have to keep relearning something over and over and over again. We establish habits. We establish patterns and behaviors just for efficiency so that we can do something really quickly. Like you get up in the morning, you wouldn't want to have to relearn, how to walk or how to go to the bathroom or how to brush your teeth. Those behaviors are built in. You learned it, over a period of time, and now you call it natural. It's built in. You just do it. So in order for you to establish healthy behaviors, those same things need to happen, okay? You need to get unstuck. So stop repeating the thoughts that drive the behaviors that an unhealthy person would do. And you need to start looking at yourself that I am a healthy person. And a healthy person wouldn't choose Coke or Diet Coke to have with their meal. They would look at water. They would look at, an herbal tea or something like that. A healthy person wouldn't sit down and, eat a big full meal and then eat 2 pieces or, a huge slice of cheesecake afterwards. You need to think of yourself as a healthy person so that you can take on the behaviors and the thoughts of a healthy person, okay? So let me know what you think about this episode and let me know if you recognize the stories that you're telling yourself about your behaviors, those stories that allow you to essentially escape being responsible for the things that are going on in your life. And in this case, I'm talking about your healthy life, about how you are, about weight-wise, about smoking-wise, about alcohol, anything like that, that is just really taking away from your health. Let me know. Send me an email, DM me, however you happen to hear this, and let me know what came to mind when we started talking about several things here. Unhealthy behaviors, the thoughts about those unhealthy behaviors, and the big one, you taking responsibility for the thoughts that you think and therefore the behaviors that come about as a result of those thoughts, okay? I'll be excited to hear what you had to say. And maybe this was quite overwhelming and you might need to listen to it a couple of times, or you might need to have someone else listen to it with you and you guys have a discussion about it. You're more than welcome to. There's probably somewhere here in the show notes a way to contact me. If you go to my website, www.thernhealthcoach.com, and you can click on book a time and we can book just a short 15-minute discussion about your health and unhealthy behaviors that are keeping you stuck and not being the vibrant, healthy person that you want to be. Again, my name is Elmira Hinton. I have been a registered nurse for over 40 years, and right now I feel a passion, a drive to support as many people as possible to moving towards the health that they want to have. I think you deserve it. I know you do. And it's really not built into our healthcare system currently as it stands for you to develop those healthy behaviors. You got to take steps on your own. You got to look out there on your own so you can figure out how to be the healthy, vibrant person that you want to be. Okay? So I thank you so much for listening to this podcast. And I would love it if you could leave me a positive review. And if you feel that this information could help someone else, share it with them. That's the way. I mean, you can support me and your friends or family or anyone else that says, hey, you might want to take a listen to this. I want to make some changes. It helped me make some changes, or it brought some new thoughts into my mind. Maybe you might want to have a listen too. All right. Thank you so much. And you have a great and amazing day. Talk with you soon on the next episode of Nurse's Notes by Elmira. Bye-bye.